are these people?
Now, this was the story that I was going to do, and I wanted to kind of do something about Ukraine, but there's so much happening, and there are so many ongoing developments that I felt like whatever I brought would be missing something. So I did like this article by Ricky over at Council State Media and Anti-Imperialist Nexus. So go check this out. Neoliberals would prefer war with Russia to peace in Ukraine, and it's a very British-focused article talking about how that peace could even spell the end of NATO because Trump wants, and I also heard rumors of a 700 billion euro package from the Europeans. From the Europeans to Ukraine. All right. Because Trump is obviously looking to negotiate a peace out of this.
There was talks of a whole new NATO with hookers and gambling. If I remember correctly, correct?
Is that what he said?
He said NATO with a NATO without the country. Like Zelensky was like, we should have a NATO without America.
Oh, is that what he said? That's
okay.
Good. He said he would step. He said he would step down if they allowed Ukraine to join NATO. But that's still a hard no, and he's got no standing and no word, nothing in no skin in the game at this point. Like he's got to basically say do whatever we say. But I also wanted to mention
last push was to hopefully get that nuclear power plant. They didn't do that.
Right.
They didn't keep that. So like now they're like, ain't got nothing.
So we did briefly ship arms. We did briefly apparently pause arms shipments to Ukraine. But of course we resumed them last weekend. However,
are you sure about that?
Now, this is false. Reuters is lying. They are second only to the AP as legacy news liars. That is from the liar-in-chief, Elon Musk, the actual president, the one who bought the office. But Brian Bertelic of the New Atlas comes with an elbow, says that shutting off Starlink used by Ukrainian forces, including neo-Nazi units to kill Russians, is one of the easiest steps that the U.S. could take to prove their intentions to end their own proxy war on Russia. Instead, Musk has not only allowed Ukraine to continue using his network, he's passionately denying that it's being used as leverage amid negotiations to steal Ukraine's minerals to pay for the proxy war the U.S. itself engineered. The Trump administration... What was that?
Do it. It wasn't me.
That was very scratchy. It wasn't me.
Was it?
Yeah, that was really bad.
It wasn't me.
Oh. He said the Trump administration has called Zelensky a dictator, yet they continue facilitating the proxy war that he's in the middle of fighting. The U.S. weapons continue flowing to Ukraine, albeit quietly, and more U.S. weapons will be sent via Europe. The U.S. isn't even hiding the big rusty bear trap they want Russia to step into. It's Minsk 3.0. Not cool. All right, so check out Ricky's article over at Council of State Media. Follow Brian Bertelic. Next, man, this is so upsetting. All right, so we've been talking about Dr. Hussam Abu Safiya. He was supposed to be released on yesterday. But first off, we got video and a picture of him, and he's lost like 30 pounds at least. He looks gaunt. He's been tortured. He's not in good shape.
Correct.
All right.
Correct.
Now, on top of that, he was not on the list of detainees to be released. This happened, we believe, when an IDF soldier who was being released, like, celebrated with the Hamas captors and kissed two of them on the forehead. And Bibi got so angry, he ordered the release to not happen. So, of course, our friend Laura says, breaking, Israel has explained it had no choice but to deny the release of Dr. Hussam Abu Safiya because it found undeniable evidence that he'd been practicing medicine. Indie Media Award honoree Laura from Normal Island News. There was also an article that I didn't get a chance to go through, but I want people to read about the futility of the NLRB. All right, that without them being able to impose serious penalties, vigorous enforcement just results in endless backlogs. And that it's a waste of time, effort, and money the way we're doing it. We need to rethink it. That's a really good article. There's also this article. I don't even remember who this was from. I think you sent me this one. Oh, from Robert Inlakesh over at Mintpress.
And now for something completely different.
Trump's Lebanon agenda is regime change on fast forward. Definitely read this one. There's a lot of good stuff in there. It's somewhat long. Did not want to go through all that. Plus, I did not really want to do a fuck Israel segment this week. So read that one. I mean, of course, the whole Dahlia thing with Eve Engler being in jail is fucked up. But that's not directly Israel's fault. It's Zionist's fault. And because of what Israel's doing for sure, but doesn't really fall in the same category.
Benjamin Netanyahu?
Yeah, that clown. Now, this one I brought, and I'll include the link. This is what I call this guy the mayor of Substack, Ted Joya. Everybody loves him. He is a he's a jazz writer. But he also has been pointing out things about AI and about Google. And he points out that the world's largest search engine doesn't want you to search anymore. What? Well, because of AI search results and everything else, why is Google abandoning its core mission? And I'll just go through the beginning. Almost everything in the digital world is turning into its opposite. Social media platforms now prevent people from having a social life. ChatGPT makes you less likely to chat with anybody. Relationship apps make it harder for couples to form lasting relationships. Health and wellness websites make it almost impossible to find reliable health advice, instead peddling products of dubious efficacy. Product review sites now prevent people from reading impartial reviews by actual users of the product, instead operating as pay-for-play vehicles, etc., etc. All right? So he points out some Google articles and some things that are happening. I've known Google up close and personal from the start. I initially found the company quirky and endearing, but those days ended long ago. The company is now clueless and creepy. Almost every day I read about some ugly news story about Google. Here are a few headlines from a typical week. Google ditches its promise not to develop AI weapons. Millions of Google users alarmed after discovering new AI tool they can't turn off. Google facilitated Russia and China's censorship requests. Their new fingerprinting policy sparks privacy backlash as ads become harder to avoid. And that Google data centers used nearly 6 billion gallons of water in 2024. So there's a lot of really good stuff in there that I want you to check out. And it's a longer article. It talks about how their core mission was originally do no harm, and they even took that out of their slogan.
Yeah, don't be evil.
Right, do no evil.
That was the other thing.
I wanted to end on a really positive note. Leonard Peltier.
I'm proud of the positions I've taken.
He got let out.
Help fight for our rights, for survival. I was 13 years old in 1958 when they came to Turtle Mountains here, and they said that we got to be terminated. There was a second reservation controlling for termination. The Menominee were the first one. I can honestly, happily, and proudly say I was at those demonstrations. I was supposed to be there. My dad didn't want me to be there, but I went anyway. And we stopped termination here for the Turtle Mountain Shipboard. I'm so proud of the showing and support you've given me. I got a hard time keeping myself from crying.
Don't cry, you make me cry.
The strong warriors can't be up here crying in front of these people, so I'm not going to cry. I want to say thank you. Thank you very, very much for showing me this. Emotionally, the support was surprising. I was full of shock. It was surprising to see all of these lined up there, welcoming me home, you know. It was June 10th, went before the parole board, and they gave me a death sentence.
Yep.
15-year hit. Me years old, how am I going to do 15 more years without the medical treatments I need? They treated me like shit, man. It sentenced me to sensory deprivation cell. I don't know if you guys know what that is. This total darkness. I was supposed to die in that cell. But the Supreme Court saved me and said, you can't do that. He's already been sentenced by the courts. And by the way, that sensory deprivation cells is illegal. And they tried all kinds of different things. But I beat him. I beat the bastards.
Yeah, he did.
Another thing I did was I made sure all Indian issues was the top subject in all my protests and all my activism to bring these issues to light to around the world. And I was pretty lucky from that. I want to also mention that from the day one, from the first hour I was arrested, Indian people came to my rescue from all over the country, especially the United States, and they've been behind me ever since. I mean, I got something like 800 tribes, I believe, 800 tribes that support. So that's a big, it makes me feel good, man. I just make me feel good. It was worth it for me to be able to sacrifice for it. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So a little bit of good news to see that guy out of prison and see him healthy somewhat and looking great and sounding great and resilient. Man, that is just oof. To continue the good news, of course, our friend Chanda, she's kicking the crap out of cancer. She's pushed back and fought back a lot of the tumors, and there's a lot that wasn't detected on her latest PET scan. There's still some stuff in there. She's still going to need our help and fight. But man, she's been through the ringer and she's on her way back, and we love her for it, and we're going to be here to support her. And anything you can do, the GoFundMe link will be in the description afterwards. I usually have been putting it in every week. So please, if you can, support her as well. Support independent media. And if you watch Ozza and Chanda, Beauty and the Boomer, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on Saturday nights. I don't know if they're going to do one next week. I know they did one last night. It was outstanding. Go support them, please. I would like to make an appeal to everyone. If you are able and are of means, please support the media you want to see. These people already have. Thank you so much to everybody who has supported and tipped us and hooked us up. This week, I remember clearly Charlie Mack on Friday night, as well as Sean, definitely hooked us up. We got some PayPals on. Ooh, I get an echo on Wednesday night from INA News. So thank you to everyone. Natalie Brunel, I know she gave, I believe she gave $20 over on Cash App. So cash.app/$Indie News Network, co-fi.com/Indie News Network, paypal.me/Indie News Network, and INAnewsletter.com are the ways to support it that are the least way to have fees go and the most money to actually put into our pockets. YouTube doesn't like it when we do that. Please, if you can, support the channels, tip us, hook us up with a couple of bucks. Reef needs some weed money. I just got a mic stand. It's so crazy. I've been doing this so long, and my mic has always sat on my desk. And finally, I broke down and I said, "All right, I'm gonna get one of those like kind of arms that clamps to the side of the desk and free up the space." I wouldn't say that, but it's not a terribly expensive product, and it's really funny that the
money is there.
It is, and that's what's funny, because that's why you guys hook us up with that so that we can do things like that, and thank you for that. Because yes, we need to purchase equipment, and to cover our costs for the year. That's what we're trying to do, is cover our costs of streaming and of producing all the thumbnails and all the creative graphics. If you are able to at a means, please tip your streamers, hook up INN, help us cover our expenses for the year, and do some really cool stuff. We want to send Jesse Jet to Third Eye Carnival in April. We're going to see if we can make that happen. Or they may schedule another Third Eye Carnival later on in the year closer to him, an event that he can more easily attend. Third Eye Carnival is a weekend camping trip hangout where there are podcasters, musicians, comedians all come together to discuss what's really happening out there, and then solutions on how do we move forward together to opt out of the system and do some cool stuff, outside of the Zionist control. So we get censored for stuff like this. We got demonetized for stuff like this. So please, if you are able to, hook us up somewhere else other than on YouTube. The ways to do that are Cash App, Ko-fi, PayPal, and at INNnewsletter.com. You can do so with a one-time, monthly, or even an annual support over at INN Newsletter. Everybody on that board already has, and we love them deeply for it. Thank you so much, really, for all of the support that we get. We cannot do this without you. We are solely user-funded. We do not have promo codes. We do not do ad reads. We do not do sponsorships. We are here because we feel like that is potentially compromising. If you are, hesitant to criticize somebody that an advertiser might like, or criticize an advertiser directly, or criticize, there's just a lot of potential conflicts of interest that can be brought up by doing the sponsorship thing, which is why we feel like, to have the ultimate integrity, you need to be doing this solely user-funded. Otherwise, you're going to, at some point, have somebody turn to you and tell you they don't like the way that you're covering something and insist that you not cover something or whatever it is. And we've seen that repeatedly. We've seen people have blind spots because there are people that they like that have big gaps and big inconsistencies and big conflicts of interest, and just kind of look the other way and not discuss it and let other people discuss it, and not necessarily defend it, but also not go hard on things that we know that they would ordinarily go hard on. And I don't want to see that happen here. So that's why we need you to help keep us honest so that we can help keep everybody else honest. Because we say fuck the CIA, we get demonetized on YouTube. And these amazing people have already helped out our channel. They have tipped their streamers and supported the media they want to see. And we love them and appreciate them for it. That's why they're on our wall of fame. You can join them by supporting at Cash App, $Indie News Network, ko-fi.com/Indie News Network, paypal.me/Indie News Network, and at INNnewsletter.com, where you can subscribe monthly or on an annual basis.
Support independent media, like he said.
Yeah, how about that? We need more than ever.
You said that already, right?
Labels are bad. Stay independent.
No one knows what they're doing. Everything is getting worse. Some people deserve to die. Your money is worthless. No one is properly dressed. At least one of your children will disappoint you. The system is rigged. Your house will never be completely clean. All teachers are incompetent. There are people who really dislike you. Nothing is as good as it seems. Things don't last. No one is paying attention. The country is dying. God doesn't care. Shh.
Support independent media, everyone. We just fucking lost the stream.
Can't keep giving us nothing and think we're bluffing about coming for your heads. Why play civil if you won't listen? 50,000 died. And now we know our mission, we form a militia, make Congress a prison. No, I play civil when all these dead won't make you listen. What's more American than slaying your oppressors? What's more American than liberty or death first? God, I thought we were founded on abolishing the tyranny of those who would starve a village all to live empirically. And I regret that I have only one life to give for my cause, now that I can see the cause so clearly. See, I want our leaders, regardless of party, to fear me.